Yes. Hare Krishna, Bhus Mata, yes, welcome all of you. Thank you for joining. So happy Purushottam to everybody. So today first in the beginning let us start with the Bhagavad Gita. So let's start. Jagannath Bhadaswaramai ki jai. Narasimha Bhagwan ki jai. Panchatattva ki jai. Shri Goswami ki jai. Guru Parampara ki jai. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Gurudev ka go. Om Jnanamrandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishnapareshtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin iti namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadhi Paschatya Deshatarine जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So today we'll be continuing with the Bhagavad Gita chapter 13 and today's verse is 14, Prabhu. 13.14.
13.
You want me to share, Prabhu? It's okay.
Vedabase, can I share, Prabhu?
Yeah, I can share, no problem.
Yeah.
Sure. Just a moment. Yeah. So, you can see, Prabhu? Yeah, okay. So let us start. 13th chapter, 14th verse. Sarvatha panipadam ta sarvatokshi shiromukham sarvata shrudimalloke sarvam avritya tishtati. So this 13th chapter, 14th verse from Bhagavad Gita. Sarvatah panipadam ta sarvatokshi shiromukham sarvatah shrutimaloke sarvam avritya tishtati. Translation by Divine Prabhupada ki jai. Everywhere are his hands and legs, his eyes, heads and faces, and his ears everywhere. In this way, the super soul exists, pervading everything. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. So this is a very nice chapter which will continue today. See, actually the connection between the 12th chapter, that is Bhakti Yoga, and this chapter, 13th chapter. This chapter is actually introduction to Jnana section. See, in the chapter 6 to chapter 12, Krishna concluded his description of Bhakti Yoga. And from 13th chapter to 18th, last chapter, he describes Jnana Yoga. So one may ask the question, if Bhakti is a culmination of the yoga ladder, then why is Jnana presented after the section on Bhakti? That's the question. So understanding the connection between Bhakti section and the Jnana section, it will help reveal the reason. So in text, the verse 12.7 Bhagavad Gita, last chapter, no? Lord Krishna promised to save his devotees from the path of birth and death. So this chapter 13 to 18, this fulfills this promise. How? By supplying the philosophical knowledge necessary to extricate oneself from the material entanglement. So we call this section as Jnana section. But But in truth, no, the entire Bhagavad Gita is bhakti. The first 6 chapters discuss how to achieve bhakti through one's karma, through one's works, that is karma yoga. The last 6 chapters discuss how to achieve bhakti through knowledge. And this middle 6 chapters discuss bhakti itself. So jnana has its use in assisting our detachment from Maya and subsequently attachment to Krishna. So what happens? So when we utilize the knowledge as a means to attain devotion, it becomes a part of bhakti. So without the touch of bhakti, both karma and jnana are useless. So this is another reason why the discussion of bhakti comes in the middle of Bhagavad Gita, where it can remain in contact with both karma and jnana and thus lend some value. So this 14th verse, the main, it is super soul is all pervading, correct? So Srila Prabhupada strongly confirms in this verse, 13.14, which refers to the all pervading nature of the Lord. It describes the super soul actually and not the living entity. So he says, no, super soul has hands, legs, eyes, ears, heads, and faces everywhere. So super soul is all pervading. And gives the analogy that sun is all pervading by diffusing the unlimited rays. And he says, in him exist all unlimited individual living entities, right from Brahma to the small ant. So the purport of this 13.14 verse, it proves about super soul and not the individual soul. See, individual soul cannot claim that he has legs, hands everywhere. No, not possible, right? And to think like that is the effect of ignorance. That's what Prabhupada says in the purport. So individual soul cannot extend his hands and legs everywhere. Right? The super soul, supreme soul can extend without limit. As is shown in 9.26 Bhagavad Gita, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam, right? And also in Brahma Samhita, Golok Eva Nivasati, right? So 13.14, Krishna is explaining his all-pervading nature. Sarvata Pani Padam Tat Sarvato Akshi Shiro Mukham. Sarvata Shutimal Loke Sarvam Avartya Tishtati. So everywhere are his hands and legs, his eyes, heads and faces, and his ears everywhere. In this way, the super soul exists, pervading everything. And in the wonderful purport to this verse, Prabhupada says, the Supreme is different from the individual soul. The Supreme Lord can extend his hand without limit. The individual soul cannot. In Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that if anyone offers him a flower or a fruit or a little water, he accepts it. And if the Lord is far in distance, far away, how can he accept things? So this is the omnipotence of the Lord. Even though he is situated in his own abode, far, far away from the earth, he can extend his hand to accept what anyone offers. That is Krishna's potency. See, many years ago, there lived a devotee by the name Dasya Bauri, who hailed from a low caste, and he was living in a village called Baligram near Puri. So in those days, members from his caste were not allowed inside Jagannath Puri temple. So he was poor and uneducated, but was having unflinching faith in the Lord. So once a Brahmana from his village was going to Jagannath Puri. So Dasya asked him to offer coconut to the Lord on his behalf and to bring it back to him if the Lord rejects. Now the Brahmana very proudly laughed at Dasya's childish foolishness, but said he would offer the coconut because he knew he was for lower caste. So once the Brahmana was inside the temple, you know what happened? The Brahmana held the coconut before Jagannatha and repeated Dasya's message. He said, Dasya Bauri has sent this coconut for you. Please accept it. Otherwise, I will take it back. Suddenly, Jagannatha extended his arm from the altar and took the coconut directly out of the Brahmana's hand. To the Brahmana's great surprise. So Dasya Bauri's sincere devotion was so great that the Lord personally accepted his indirect offering. Now, since the Lord is situated in the heart of every living entity, in his Paramatma features, right? He could see Dasya's strong desire to please him. And so he accepted the simple offering. On another occasion, Dasya Bauri went to Puri carrying a large basket of mangoes for the Lord. So when he reached the lion's gate entrance to the temple, a group of Brahmanas started fighting over who would take the mangoes inside the temple to offer to the Lord. Just like the previous Brahmana, they thought he will give them. So Dasya Mauri told them that he did not need them to offer the mangoes for the Lord. Now the Brahmanas were bewildered. They are proud of their position, right? And did not think that low-caste devotee eligible to offer anything to the Lord. So Dasya's faith was unshaken. And he simply stood back a short distance and focused his gaze on the Nila Chakra, the large wheel on the top of the temple. In that way, he saw the form of the Lord. Because the name, form, and paraphernalia of the Lord are not different from him. So Nila Chakra is not different from Lord Jagannatha. So when Dasya held up the two mangoes and showed them to Nila Chakra, they disappeared. Dasya repeatedly offered mangoes in this way until his basket was empty. Now a crowd gathered around Dasya and watched the mangoes disappear as if by magic. When Dasya told the Brahmanas that Lord Jagannath had eaten all the mangoes, they rushed into the temple and found mango skins and seeds lying all around the altar. Mango juice was dropping down Jagannath's smiling face. So the Brahmanas then understood that Dasya Bauri was a great devotee of the Lord, and their pride was vanished. So Dasya Bauri's offerings showed the world the Lord looks only for the faith and love, not high birth. The Lord is omnipresent, omniscient, unlimited, not only in his form and appearance, but also in his magnanimous nature. So even if people of the world reject someone, Lord Jagannath is willing to extend his loving reciprocation to his dear devotees, irrespective of caste and creed. So this is his all-pervading nature and merciful nature. So this I stop here. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki. Thank you very much for Mataji's. It's a wonderful story which proves and shows how the Supreme Lord is all-pervading and he's so unlimited. So whatever we offer, he definitely accepts, right? We think that food is still lying there. That doubt is still there. We don't have 100% faith that Krishna is taking it. But you have with faith. That's why he says in Bhagavad Gita, Patram Pushpam, just offer it to me with love. I will take it and he will not take it literally, but he has taken it and given it as prasad back to you. This is the beauty. Thank you, Prabhupada Mataji. Hare Krishna.